Hello again, and welcome back to my channel. The good folk at Evolution Power Tools got in touch with me and asked if I'd be interested in trying out and reviewing one of the mitre saws, to which I went, yes please. So last week the Evolution 210CMS arrived and I set it up yesterday, ready to put it through its paces. Now what I thought I'd do to be sort of slightly different to some other reviews I've seen on YouTube, instead of just showing this is how cutting this piece of wood and this cutting this piece of plastic, I'm going to incorporate it into my next building project. Now, if you saw my previous video, which was the resin penny tabletop, I actually need to build some legs for that table. So I'm going to use this compound mitre saw to build the table legs. What it will be able to demonstrate is cutting wood at 90 degrees. I also need to do some 45-degree bevel cuts, but also the two table legs I'm going to make, which is out of 3x2, which I got from my local timber merchants, which is very nice and also very cheap. I'm going to join the two table legs with some 3mm mild steel box tube. Now, according to the box, it will also cut through that, so that will be interesting to try out for the first time. So it's kind of sort of demonstrating the versatility of this saw. Just a couple of quick observations before we start the build. Firstly, it's tiny. It takes up literally no space on my worktop at all. I have an old JCB. It's different because it's a sliding mitre saw, but it takes up quite a bit of space. But this thing, it's absolutely tiny. Also, no issue for me whatsoever in setting it up. It was really light. It's really light. Dead easy for me to get it out of the box. Dead easy for me to mount it on the tabletop here. It has a little sort of pulley outy thing at the back that sort of stabilises it. And I just drilled a few holes and attached it on. So that's pretty much it in me initial impressions. Let's see it getting put through its paces, and hopefully we should have a nice set of table legs at the end. I have to say I'm pretty happy with that first part there. Once I got my head around the fact that I had a problem initially, that when I angled the chop saw at 45 degrees for the bevel cut, I couldn't use the clamp to secure the piece of wood. And obviously when we're just using the one hand, that became a real issue. But I just turned it to a 45 degree on a mitre cut, and then clamped it down, cut it, and it was almost got through, but just a tiny bit, so I just had to flip it over to the other side and then finish the cut off. Just looking at, and the angles seem pretty good. The proof will be in the pudding when I kind of glue it all together. But really good, very impressed starting off. The next stage, I've just sanded it at some 120. I'm probably going to do it at about 180. Glue the stuff together. Now at this point, obviously if I had my long-term goal is to get a domino, but obviously I haven't got one of those yet, so I'm actually just going to glue the legs together, and then when the glue's dried tomorrow, I'm just going to apply a fixing directly through, so the bit will be on the underside and the top bit, so you won't actually see them. So let's see how we get on. Right, it's time to see if they can deliver on the promise to cut through the metal. I've had a quick look on the website just for a few safety things. I'm going to take the dust bag off because I don't think any sparks might set that alight, and also it suggests cutting it on an angle which I've set up, clamped in. Let's get that right. It's not going anywhere. Right, let's see how we get on. Wow. That is impressive.
Without loss in the fifth over. After a relatively quiet start, they're really looking to step on the accelerator. Yeah, this is great
Okay, we've come to the end of my evolution review and table leg build. So I just thought I'd conclude with a final few thoughts. Firstly, the mitre saw. Now, I'm absolutely under no obligation whatsoever to provide any favourable comments or anything. I've just been asked to be honest, and I genuinely do think it's excellent for a variety of reasons. But firstly, I didn't even state at the beginning to start with is the price. Now, obviously, different countries is going to be different, different taxes and stuff. But here in the UK, I did an Amazon search on it this morning, and it was discounted at $59.99. So, $59.99 for a compact mitre saw that cuts through soft and hardwoods easily. I demonstrated with the mild steel tube at the 3mm thickness, and it just went through it like it was going through a piece of softwood. Absolutely incredible. It demonstrated to me it cuts accurate 45-degree mitres. It's really compact in size. I'm very, very impressed with it. Okay, really, I'm impressed with it. So if I was asked would I consider recommending it to someone, then if you're in the market for like a budget mitre saw, you might do occasional cuts on metals or plastics, you need something that doesn't cover a lot of space, absolutely, I definitely would recommend this tool. In regards to the build, the bigger project behind us, I'm genuinely over the moon with that. It's taken me a hell of a long time to put this together for various reasons. But I really like the complements. I think the steel complements the wood. I think the bri wax walnut stain or walnut polish, sorry. I mean, this is actual genuine walnut. That's just a 3x2. I think it's blended in really well. I love the penny resin top. I've had loads of really good positive feedback about that. So I'm going to do some more work with resin and stuff in the future. So it's been a real interesting learning process for me, and I really like to thank Evolution for considering me to do a review of their tools, and I thank you to James in particular for getting in touch. In regards to keeping it, it's not personally for me. I only have one space in my rather small little workshop, and it's nothing to do with what it's capable of. It's just that I use a sliding mitre saw because I do some if you look at one of my other videos, the cross table legs, I need to be able to do trench cuts. Now this does have a depth stop, but obviously with it not having a sliding capacity, you can't do proper trench cuts with it. So what I'm actually going to do is I've been in touch with the guys at the BEVEL tool shed, which is a charity local to me. But looking at the website, went down and seen them. They welcome a variety of people, but I think the main focus is kind of older guys and kind of maybe teaching them new skills, but also things like combating things like maybe loneliness. People have retired and then they find it's difficult to adapt. So I went down to see, spoke to a guy called Owen down there and asked him if they'd be interested in that. And I think their eyes lit up a little bit, to be honest. So I'm going to be taking this down to them in the next few days, and I'm sure they will get plenty of really good use from this. Thank you very much for staying with me and for watching this. I say if you do like what you've seen here, please give us a thumbs up. Maybe consider subscribing to the channel. Take care, and we'll see you again sometime. Thank you.